I'm 11 years old and I go to Wyndham Middle School. I'm a 6th grader. I was in the library and this book was on a stand. I'd like to read you a page. My back over my hips as I ask if we should take our clothes off. And he's saying yes before I finish my sentence. He's pulling off my t-shirt, laughing when I can't undo his shirt buttons. He's undoing my belt. I'm reaching into his bedside drawer for a condom. We're kissing. Again, we're rolling over. Obviously, you can see where this is going.
From the mouths of babes, we have an 11-year-old boy in Maine who stunned his school board and parents after discovering a highly sexualized book featured in the library, and he decided to read some passages out loud just to watch the board. An 11-year-old taking it under control for himself.
11 years old. We're going to get to the video real quick on this because, as the story says, this is at the Wyndham Middle School Library, and we're going to allow the youngster to tell you exactly what was in the book.
But this reminds me so much of the first time we had sex. We were both terrified, and the whole thing was kind of terrible because we didn't know what we were doing. But it was good too, so good, because we were a mess of emotions, and we were scared and excited, and everything felt new. So this sort of feels like that. Nick touches me like he's scared that any minute. Now, this book was at my middle school, and it was on a stand. When I rented it out to show my dad it, the librarian asked if I wanted more and if I wanted a graphic novel version.
So good for this young man. And I'm going to emphasize again, middle school library, anywhere USA. And I want to quote him again. When I checked out Nick and Charlie to show my dad, the librarian asked if I wanted more and if I wanted a graphic novel version.
Yep.
The librarian.
As he said, though, the librarian. This is why.
And by the way, they bleeped out a word or two.
Oh, yeah.
As if, kids are reading this and
said it, yeah.
Adults can't handle it.
But little Knox, that's his name, Knox Zajac. Yes. Little Knox. All right, little Knox. We talk about this all the time. We talk about these stories all the time.
Weekly.
How the parents go in front of the microphone. And this is an instance, because I am not a proponent of putting your children out in front of the microphone to use them up and prop them up as if they were props. But this is an example of this little boy, I think, wanted to speak out on this because he's like, I found this at my library and I took it home to show my dad. This is what is happening in our school. So he is more self-aware of what is happening in that school than apparently the librarian, as cute little Knox said. But when we keep showing you these videos of the parents saying it, but when you listen and see this youngster actually reading the words and hearing them, does it actually knock some sense into you? If you weren't as cringing as much as we were, and as you could see the adults sitting behind little Knox, then there's something wrong with you too. Because you should just be so uncomfortable and wanting to not have this be accessible to the 11-year-olds in the library. I'm just going to keep saying it, library.